right. So, you've already got this in your table of contents, right? Polynomial division. So I kind of like polynomial division because it's truly like a giant puzzle. So those of you guys who like logic puzzles and stuff like that, you're going to enjoy this. Those of you who don't, get over it. Quick review. If I'm multiplying two binomials together, n minus 2 times 6n plus 8. That's a multiplication problem, right? I have a binomial times another binomial. These are called factors, right? You have two factors that multiply together to make, what's the answer to a multiplication problem called?
A product.
A product, okay? So when I multiply, what's our setup that we're going to use?
Box.
A box. So I'm going to set up a box, a 2 by 2 box, because it's a binomial times a binomial. Bless you. And that was on purpose, just so she could be on the video.
No.
N minus 2 times 6n plus 8. And we're going to do this pretty quickly because you guys did fairly well. Test grades on this were really pretty good. These questions, nobody missed, I think. Last time I looked, it was 100%. So I end up with, for the product, 6n squared minus 4n minus 16. Is everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
I know I went fast, but y'all are good at that. Okay? So the product is 6n squared minus 4n minus 16. The two factors were n minus 2 times 6n plus 8. Well, here's where we switch up the problem starting today. Is I give you the product 6n squared minus 4n minus 16, and we're going to divide that by a factor, n minus 2. Now, we already know the answer, right? I mean,
Yep.
This is like, hey, 5 times 7 is 35. What's 35 divided by 5? And you know the answer's 7. But I'm going to show you how to actually get there. Multiplication division, I'm still going to do the box, okay? I'm still going to set up a box. Do I have any idea how big this box is really going to be?
3 by 2?
2 by 3.
Maybe a 3 by 2, maybe a 2 by 2. I don't know. Here's what I do know. I know that this is going to go on one of the sides, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm going to set up a box that's too tall. I really don't know how long it's going to be. Although at this point, I hope you've kind of noticed that, hey, typically, if I have a trinomial as the answer, if I have something with 3 terms, that's usually a 2 by 2 makes a trinomial. Have y'all picked up on that?
Yes.
Like, oh, a 2 by 2 box ends up having 3 parts in the answer most of the time. So, I have a hunch this is going to end up being a 2 by 2, especially because I already know what the answer is going to be. But normally you wouldn't know that. So, I know that I have n minus 2 times something that equals this answer. When you multiply, where do you end up? When I multiplied these two sides, the answer ended up being inside the box, right? Did y'all notice how the first term almost never changes? In fact, I can't think of a time that that first box ever changed from there to your answer.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever see that happen?
No.
I don't think I did either. So I'm going to feel pretty safe saying, you know what? That first box needs to be a 6n squared. So here's where the logic puzzle part comes in. I need this to be a 6n squared. So I got to figure out what goes up here that would multiply by an n and create 6n squared. 6n. Okay? I know now that the first part of my answer has to be a 6n. It's the only way I'm going to get 6n squared at the beginning. So I've made 6n squared. If this is 6n and I multiply it by that negative 2, what does that give me right here?
Negative 12n.
A negative 12n. Do I want a negative 12n in my answer?
No.
What do I want?
Negative 4.
I want a negative 4n.
So you.
Well, if I have a negative 12 and I need to combine it with something so that it makes the negative 4,
Positive 8n.
Alex is exactly right. I need a positive 8n. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Oh, so I got a negative 12 from here, but I need a negative 4, so I need a positive 8n. Okay, cool. If this needs to be an 8n, what's going to have to be up top then?
8.
An 8. That way when I multiply 8 times n, it makes 8n. Well, what's that going to make this box now?
Negative 16.
Do I want a negative 16?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I sure do.
Oh, yes.
I want a negative 16 right here, so guess what?
What?
Did I just create the correct product?
Yes.
Yes.
Then what's the answer?
Equals
6n plus 8.
6n plus 8. Okay?
That's cool. That is
If you're feeling confused, because some of y'all have these faces like, yeah, no. Don't worry, it's one example in. You're
But
okay.
it's really fun. Like,
Okay.
it's like, because
I think so, but I'm a nerd. All right, let's do another one. How about 7x squared plus 37x plus 36. All of that divided by x plus 4.
okay.
All right. I can only set up a piece of my box right now. How tall do I know the box is going to be?
2.
2, because I know that x plus 4 is going to multiply by something to make this top part. What do I need that first box inside to be?
7x.
I need it to be a 7x squared, okay? To make that first term, the inside box needs to be a 7x squared. How am I going to turn an x into a 7x squared? Grace is exactly right, 7x,
I got the
Which
answer.
makes it 28.
which makes the bottom 28x. Do I want a 28x?
Well, no, you want a 37, so you have to put a 9 at the top.
Yeah, I want a 37, so Lily said that perfectly. I would put a positive 9x at the top. That way these two would combine to make the 37 that I need in the product. Okay, well, how do I turn an x into a 9x?
9.
I need a positive 9. And so if that's a positive 9, what's it going to make this?
36.
36.
36. Do I want a 36?
Yes.
Miraculously, it works out nice and clean. It's like elementary school when every division problem was clean, right? So what's the answer? And no, Bailey, it's not always going to be clean.
7x plus 9.
Yes, the answer is 7x plus 9. I always have people fall into, oh, the answer is the product. Is that 7x squared plus 37x plus 36?
No.
That doesn't make sense. So you're telling me that this trinomial divided by x plus 4 equals that same trinomial as the answer? You got to think about what you're finding, okay? All right, let's do a bigger one. It still works out clean, so don't panic yet. 3x to the third plus 16x squared minus 10x plus 12.
That's big.
Yikes. All divided by,
1.
no, you wish, x plus 6. Yes, the giggling is Cheyenne. I feel like Cheyenne could do voices for a Disney movie.
Oh my
Same.
god. Like Robin Williams
Mm-hmm.
before he died.
Ooh, too soon.
That got dark real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I know that I have x plus 6 times something.
3x squared.
Oh, sorry. Video is going to be really boring for the next couple minutes.
Oh,
You just wait for the class to
Oh, wait,
figure
we're
it
good,
out.
we're good.
I'm going to very slowly start filling things in. I'm not going to say anything. Just don't look up here. I could whisper just to the phone. So I'm just filling in to get what I need.
I got
I've made that one. If I have 18x squared, but I only need 16x squared,
minus 2.
I I need a negative 2x squared in the mix. That way those
I already got
I got 16x squared there.
Well, that sucks.
is 3 times 6, 16?
No, I plugged in that.
So you're trying to find a 16x squared.
Yeah, so you have to, like, once you know this is 3x squared, then you have to go, okay, so that's going to make this 3x squared times 6 gives me an 18x squared. But I need a 16x squared, so when I combine, I need those to combine and end up as positive 16. Exactly.
This is really fun.
So then,
know the answer.
Lily Hamilton is a mega math nerd too.
Hey, I'm internet famous.
And so now, okay, to turn an x into a negative 2x squared, I'm going to need a negative 2x. Which if I then keep following that through, we get a negative 12x. But I don't want a negative 12x, I want a negative 10x.
So you would.
So
No, you'd no.
I need a positive 2x. That way it gives me the negative 10. Hey, I know you're done, but wait. And then so now I have the negative 10. Well, to turn an x into a 2x, I'm going to need a positive 2 right here. And again, magically, we get positive 12, and that makes exactly what I want. So the answer is 3x squared
2x plus 2.
plus 2. And here's the thing, guys. If you're wanting to kind of check, if you're wanting to kind of check and see if your answer like makes sense, because if you lose sight of what's happening here, I get where all of a sudden you're like, okay, sure, that's what you get when you divide those. Your work kind of proves, oh, so if I multiply x plus 6 times 3x squared minus 2x plus 2 and fill in all the box, it makes this product that I want it to make, okay? So like your work kind of proves that it works if all your little computation stuff is right. All right, are we okay right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop. Well, I'm gonna add on more difficult stuff, but I'm not gonna put it on this video, so I'm gonna pause this.